Thanks to joining me at the Numan Arms. Unfortunately, we've got a little bit of a refurb going on, so I'm up in the roof, in my cozy area. So,
Well,
when-
I'd call that the wife escape.
yes, the pub's shut at the moment, so hopefully it'll be reopening again soon. Chris, fantastic to talk to you as always.
No problem.
Now, I saw you in Norwich. Was it last year? No, it's year
I
before.
think it was the year before. Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. So you're at the Arts Centre on 19th of April.
Saturday the 19th of April. Yeah, yeah.
So what are we to expect?
Well, we've changed some of the songs around, so there'll be a. It's still going to be a mix set, but we've dropped some, added others. So yeah, we'll have I think as well, we've sort of continued to improve really since the last time we played Norwich. Although it was a great night, it really was a. Got very fond memories of that Madden Market Theatre. It was a nightmare loading with funny,
Yeah.
but I mean it was tough going up and down a 1 in 4 hill with a horse cart full of gear.
Mm.
But so I was about a stone slimmer after that loading, but. No, it was just bad luck really. We had to we chose the Lord Mayor's procession day
Did
to
you?
actually do the
Yeah.
game. We didn't know anything about it until we realised all the roads were shut off. So that didn't help. But no, we've continued to sort of develop and hopefully get the act a bit more polished and yeah, some different songs to last time anyway. Yeah.
So, but we're now moving on to the Arts Centre, which is not that far away from the Manor Market on the grand scale
Yeah.
of things. Not very far at all. I've been there several times. Uh, do you think you'll get the whole stage set in?
Unlikely. We might get the because we've got three stage sizes.
Right.
So we might be able to on that one get the medium size stage in, which still is an impressive thing. I mean,
Mm.
you go and see most tribute acts haven't got any lights at all, but we've got that one which a lot of people have mistakenly thought was our biggest stage set, but it isn't. But yeah, it's an impressive thing. So I think we're able to get the medium-sized one, which is the same one. If anyone looks at footage on YouTube of the Birmingham show,
Yeah.
that's what we should have in place. So yeah,
So
looks the part, and yeah, we'll um,
can we
we'll
expect
impress.
any? Can we expect any unusual older ones?
Yeah, well, we're always looking to. The only issue is, of course, rehearsals. We're having a rehearsal in middle of March, and so yeah, we've got some bits we've got to work on. But yeah, we're always look to drop in something unusual if we can. Be it 78 or even before, then great. We will. So yeah, we just like to keep things changing around. I mean, basically, we've got 4 albums to play with, so there's enough
Yeah.
there really to create a different. When we're revisiting somewhere like Norwich, we will have there'll be at least I would have thought half a dozen different songs that weren't performed there last time. So we do what we can. But if it's not like having a band where you're all in the same town.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
just have a rehearsal once a week if you like, but
Yeah.
obviously two up in the northeast, me down in the Midlands. It's tricky, but we manage.
Well, it's the joys of the internet nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
I
right.
mean,
It's
I must admit, and the people I spoke to after the last Norwich gig, I mean, it was fantastic. I
yeah,
mean, it's very rarely I go to a show or a concert or something where the time just goes like it's
yeah,
gone,
yeah,
and
yeah,
before I know it, it's over. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, I'd had a few beers, but anyway,
Well, the
that's
thing is, I mean, we get such a great response. What's been the biggest surprise to me was that because obviously we're taking people back to their youth, you forget that with the passage of time, that's quite an emotional thing to think about. So we've had grown men with their eyes shut to down in the park with
yeah,
tears in their eyes,
yeah,
and they've told me afterwards because they were there at Hammersmith Odeon in '80, and it's literally took them back 45 years, and it's an emotional thing for some people, and that's been a surprise to me, but a really nice thing. It means we must be doing things right. Certainly, if they're shutting their eyes, we're certainly doing things right audio wise, vocal and the sound, if nothing else. Obviously I'm 55, so I'm not passing for a 21-year-old Gary Newman anytime soon. But the overall effect seems to be doing the trick. So we're really enjoying it.
Well, you definitely are, because I had a friend of mine who came with me. Some of his friends came along and he worked on the market and everything.
Yeah.
And they said to him afterwards, they don't follow Newman, they don't, but they like going to all this sort of stuff. And one of them sort of said, "Fuck me, I thought Gary Newman was on stage." When you first came out,
Right. Well, that's as good a compliment as you're going to get, isn't it? So that's great.
Yeah, he, he
That's great.
he he did. He really thought, and yeah, yeah. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. And I mean, your first two shows of the year have gone down a storm.
Yeah, yeah, and also another surprise is the new T-shirts we've had. Half of our stock that we ordered went in those first two shows, which
Really?
is like we've never had a. I think the difference between this year and last year was last year was the first time we unveiled the big stage set, and we our first show was in Colchester. We only had about 4 months prior to that to get it listed up,
Mm.
though, for tickets. To be fair, but even so, we just about crawled over the line to make it a break even show because it was slow, and the reason for that I think was location. So there was that, and then there was Liverpool, and again Gary Newman's retro tour, basically
Mm.
doing the songs that we do. That certainly didn't help either. That probably
Mm.
took 10, 15% off the audiences because even I wouldn't come and see me if I could see Gary Newman instead. You know what I mean? So that didn't help. But I think it's this year has really started so well. I mean,
Mm.
all but two seats were left at Plymouth, which was great,
Mm.
and Birmingham for a January gig when people haven't even been paid really
Yeah.
after Christmas. That was over 200. So that was just great, a great start. Great merchandise, which all helps us to build as we have been. I think it was when did we first speak? Was it 3 years ago now? Probably more
If
than
not longer, but yeah, something like
yeah,
that.
it was something like that. And it was all just sort of starting off,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's grown now to certainly in terms of what we're doing, it's got to where we want it to be, and as word gets around and keeps spreading, we're
Mm.
getting new followers all the time. Um, that can only be good for us, and to what we again, the dream really would be to fill sort of medium-sized theatres, small to medium, so about the 400 mark, as
Mm.
like the Solihull show in Manchester. I mean, that's 400, and it looks like, fingers crossed and everything else crossed, that we're going to have a sellout. So of those 400, I think a couple of days ago we got 79 left.
Ah,
So so hopefully that will be a sellout, and we're having it filmed. So it's going to be a good looking DVD, hopefully, with all the people there. It'll be great.
yeah, brilliant. I mean, one consolation, I saw Newman in Colchester in the Sports Pavilion, something like this,
Right.
on the Sacrifice tour. And was it No, Excel tour or Sappho. Was it
Yeah.
whatever, one or two. And you'd been lucky if there was 20 people there.
That's amazing.
So there you go. You must have done more on that.
Yeah.
So there you
Yeah. I
go.
think we
That's
got to about. I think we got to about. Colchester was about 130, something like
well,
that in the end. But yeah. But obviously, again, it's part of the learning process, isn't it?
mm,
Because when we bought all the scaffolding, we bought all the lights, and
yeah,
all of that, put it all together, but really not thinking about the costs involved in getting that to a show.
yeah.
It's an extra van hire, it's an extra roadies, it's
Mm,
extra roadies hotels,
yeah,
and it makes me laugh when people say, oh, the ones who don't like tribute acts go, oh, you're just ripping off Gary Newman's, mate, money fees. I wish we did. If they saw what our bills were, we for the whole year last year, we just about broke even.
I think
Even though
I
we,
think I think a rip off of a tribute act sort of thing would
yeah,
be fuck the stage, do all this, just come on, do a bit of Newman and bugger off. You
Yeah,
know,
in t-shirt and jeans, no
yeah,
presentation, but we
yeah,
go the whole hog. You know, we
yeah,
go the
yeah. I
whole hog
know,
in
I
terms of
know.
how it looks as well as how it sounds. You know.
I mean, the sound
It's,
is amazing. And I think anyone who's seen YouTube and that doesn't do it any justice really
mm.
because the sound is amazing. I mean, I was lucky enough to be at Touring Principle. Not that I can remember a great deal of it because it was 40 odd years ago. But, you have flashbacks as I do with a lot of bands, but the sound
Yes.
I can't remember unless I listen to some. But you're in Manchester. You've got moving on from Norwich, but man, you've got Russell Bell joining you.
Yeah, which we're really pleased about. Again, in tribute land, to have an original band member of that artist is, and I can't think of many. The only other thing like that where someone's performing on the same stage and apparently regularly is that there's a really superb Blondie tribute that has got the drummer Chris, whatever his name is, or
Yeah,
is it Chris? I don't know, old age. But anyway, they've got the Blondie drummer with them, who obviously just loves doing it. But
yeah.
for Russell to agree, um, we were really pleased for him to agree to be even connected to what is a tribute act. But he just happened to comment that he loved the stage set and he
Mm.
liked the sound of what we did and so we just asked, doesn't hurt to ask, does it? And couldn't
No,
believe
not
it
at
when he
all.
said yes. So that's great. So he'll be doing a support slot at the start with us, and we'll have a great night, I'm sure. So he'll be knocking about if anybody wants to. He probably won't refuse a pint, I wouldn't have thought.
I mean, I spoke to Chris Payne about it, and he's unfortunately because he's in France.
Yeah, yeah.
But you never know. Watch that space, I suppose.
Well, that's it. That's it. I mean, it's yes, it would be. It would be. I mean, we did ask once Russell had done, we did ask, but apparently he's doing a folk festival on the same day, so that'll be difficult. But never say never. It might happen in the future. You never know. And wouldn't that be something? Getting Dramatis on the
Well,
as
I'm pretty
the
sure if
with
Chris
us.
could make it, Russell would.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
So we're just gonna knock the Reds together and see if we can get a date sorted. That would be well as good as it gets for us. Other than Gary Newman joining me on stage, that would be which I don't think is very lot. Then that would be as good as it'd get, really. To have these. Legends of since I was a kid. You see them in the videos, you see them on the album, and there you are. You're on the same bill. I mean, that's great.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean for sure. I mean, I can't imagine. Unfortunately, I can't imagine being Gary on the same bill without sort of wanting to jump around a bit.
No, no. Oh, that was another great thing actually that happened this year, which I did put on our page because I was that excited. When I went to Nottingham, I did a meet and greet with Gary, and
Mm.
I've never done one of those before. And I didn't realise that you got priority entrance as well if you do that. So you
All
can.
right,
It's the first time since my first one was '84 Berserker Tour. So it's the first time I've ever stood at the front of a Gary Newman gig ever.
really?
Because I've always been, but even so, because I'm like 6'4",
Yeah.
so even when I was stood on the barrier, I was like crouching a bit because I was a bit embarrassed, I was cutting off
Well,
someone's view.
not only that, Chris, I found I'm the same height. I don't like going up the front too much now because all the little people are sucking up the air. So and oh, slow down, stop jumping up and down. You're sucking up the air. Look, so I tend to hover around the back nowadays.
But yeah, great night. And in that meet and greet, I gave him a Tubeway Days t-shirt, but more impressively, I said, "Look, I haven't got anything to sign, but um, I would just like to show you our stage set that we built."
Mm,
And he just said, "Wow, that is amazing." He said,
mm.
"You've gone to more effort than I have." On that, which is absolutely great. A great thing for him to say. And I gave him our DVD of this Stockport show from a few years ago,
Yeah.
and he was really reading that intently when the meets and greets were over. He was looking at from because he said to me, "And is that you on the front cover?" Because he thought it was him. So I said, "Yeah." I said, "I can still fit in the jumpsuit." He said, "I can't." So
No,
he was lovely. It was the best. It was the best experience of because obviously it's not a cheap thing to do, is it? These meet and
no.
greets. But my wife Sue just thought it would be great, to be fronting Tubeway Days and then to have a meet and greet with him just to chat about that was really lovely of her to do and a complete surprise. It was great, a great night all round. That was really loved it.
Well, it was funny once. I was backstage with him, and it was before when I was doing my book, and I had a slightly different version, an A4 sort of sheet or something, and I was showing him some of the lighting stuff,
Yeah.
and he looked at it, and he was like, "I remember this," and he was going, "Yeah, yeah, you got to do this." I said, "Your memory's not that bad then." But yeah,
Uh,
it's quite amazing. But tickets are selling really well for Norwich.
Yeah,
They are.
they're go. Yeah, I mean they're certainly going out, and really we wouldn't expect tickets to start shifting till after February.
Mm,
Again the after effects and the cost of Christmas. It eats into people's money, and so
it does.
we've been really pleased. I'm sure we'll have a great turnout overall on at Norwich, and I'll be interested to see what the venue looks like when we get there.
It is.
Inside.
I'll tell you what it is. It's an old church.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll probably sizzle when I
Well,
walk
you
in there.
say that. I saw John Fox there many, many moons ago, many long time ago. And as I was getting a taxi into Norwich, the sky was getting blacker and blacker. This was during the summer.
Right.
And we got to the venue, and I think just as he came on, the world's biggest storm happened. You know what I mean? It rained like you'd never known nothing. It was thundering and lightning. But what a great! We didn't lose power, so that was good. So
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
yeah,
Chris, we were only going to do a quick one.
yeah.
As always, fantastic to talk to you,
No problem. Yeah, it's been great. Been
and
great.
we'll see you in Norwich.
Yes, we'll have a good night. Mine's a pint of Stella. Uh,
Stella, right? Okay, is
yeah.
that before or after?
Uh, I might have one before. Yeah. Any more than one, I just start forgetting the words altogether, and it's
Yeah, I
bad
think
enough as
Gary
it is.
probably. I think Gary said he never drank, but maybe he had a couple before.
No, but thanks for that, Stephen. Really nice to speak to you again, and I'll see you at Norwich.
You most certainly will, mate. Brilliant. I'll
Okay.
talk to you soon.
Cheers.